Hello and welcome to Songkla Rajapat University's MOOC course English for Communication 1. Today we're looking at Unit 10 and this is Part 2, Grammar, where today we're going to look at using comparatives and superlatives. So what are comparative and superlative? Basically they're types or forms of adjectives. As you know, adjectives describe nouns, people, places, things. But they can also be used to compare two or more things. And that's where comparative and superlative adjectives come in. In the last section, section 1 of this unit, we saw a number of those being used, comparing Hatchai and Songkla, or Thailand and the United Kingdom. So look at how we can do that. When we make use of comparisons, we use the comparative and superlative forms. You've all seen these, I'm sure. Small, the adjective; smaller, the comparative; smallest, the superlative. So it's the extreme, the superlative. Or big, the dog's big, the deer's bigger, but the elephant is the biggest animal there. So comparative, superlative. You need at least two things when we compare. A comparative, something to something else. The superlative, the most out of many things. So when do we use the comparative? We use comparative adjectives to show change or make comparison. This car is certainly better, but it's much more expensive. So better than another car, but it also costs more than the other car. I'm feeling happier now. That shows change. I wasn't as happy earlier today. I was a little less happy. Now I'm happier. We're showing change. We need a bigger garden, something larger in size than the garden we have at the moment. We use than when we want to compare one thing with another. She is 2 years older than me. New York is much bigger than Boston. Thailand is hotter than Scotland. If we want to describe how something or someone changes, we can use two comparatives with and. So we want to show an ongoing change. The balloon got bigger and bigger. If you're blowing up a balloon, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Everything is getting more and more expensive. Here we use more with the adjective expensive, so the repeating more shows an increase, changing. More expensive next week, more expensive next week, more expensive again. We often use the with comparative adjectives to show that one thing depends on another. The faster you drive, the more dangerous it is. When you drive faster, it is more dangerous. So the faster, the more dangerous. With superlatives, this is the extremes of the adjectives. We use that to show the extremes when comparing things. This is a tall tree. Oh, that tree is taller, but there are 100 trees in the forest. If we measure them all, which one is the most tall, the tallest? We usually use the with superlative adjectives. The biggest, the happiest, the funniest. It was the happiest day of my life. Everest is the highest mountain in the world. That's the best film I have seen this year. Best is the superlative of good. Good, better, best. The comparative better, superlative best. I have three sisters. Jan is the oldest and Angela is the youngest. So a few examples there of using them. We can also say something is the same as something else. They're equal. For example, Teacher Gary is as handsome as Brad Pitt, if he's still handsome, or whoever you like. So, my house is as big as your house. His car is as expensive as his father's car, and so on. Tom can run as fast as his sister. When we want to form the comparative and superlative, there's a few rules that are worth knowing. It's really down to the number of syllables in the word, the adjective we're forming a comparative or superlative for. Syllables are the spoken sounds that make up the words. So if when you say a word there is one spoken sound, then it's one syllable. Two sounds, two syllables. The examples here, fast, nice, hot, are all one syllable adjectives. Two syllables, happy. So you've got happy, two sounds. Famous. Or more than two syllables, beautiful. Three different sounds when we speak. So by sounding out the words, you can tell how many syllables there are and then how to change to comparative. If it is one syllable, we normally add ER to make comparative or EST for superlative. Big, bigger, fast, faster, long, longer. Big, biggest, fastest, longest, tallest. If the adjective already ends in an E, then we just add R or ST. You don't need to add a second E. Nice, nicer, nice, nicest. Sometimes we have to double the final consonant, add an extra letter. You see that with nouns and other things in English as well. So if there's one consonant followed by a short vowel and a consonant, like in the word hot, short vowels, that means the sound of the vowel. Vowels are the letters you know as A, E, I, O, U. But those names are actually long vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U. The short vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, A. So hot, O, is a short vowel sound. A consonant, a short vowel and a consonant. Then we double the last consonant. Hot, hotter, hottest. Most of the adjectives that end in a Y and have two syllables, then we take off the Y and add an I-E-R or an I-E-S-T. So we're changing the Y to an I. Happy, happier, happiest. Funny, funnier, funniest. Other two-syllable adjectives we tend to use more or less with. And anything with more than two syllables. Okay, so famous, more famous, less famous, most famous, least famous. And with three syllables or more, beautiful. Susan's more beautiful than her sister. Songkla is less beautiful than Kolipe. And so on. You can do that with any of them. Intelligent. 4 syllables. Dan is more intelligent than his brother. He's probably the most intelligent person I've ever met. As with all things in English, There are a few exceptions. The ones worth mentioning today, you've already seen. Good. It's a one-syllable adjective. Instead of gooder and goodest, we use better, best. Bad, badder, baddest. We use worse and worst. Okay, so those are a couple worth watching out for. Adjectives make your language interesting, so it's worth practicing and building up a toolkit of words you can use to describe things. Thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you'll be able to use comparative and superlative adjectives to expand your language. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.